So I just wanted to start off by situating Kipscombe Farm in the wider landscape. This is us here. So Kipscombe's around Fallen Point, Countersbury area. And it is part of a 4,500 acre National Trust estate that runs the coastal strip kind of from County Gates down to Combe Martin, and we also look after two wooded valleys, so the Watersmeet Valley and also the Heddon Valley, so it's quite a large area. Here on the farm, most days it's myself, Andrew Leeworthy, who is our stockman, and he's lived in the area his whole life and farmed his whole life. And also we have Finley, our academy ranger, who's kind of like our apprentice, he's learning. So as I said, Kipscombe Farm is part of a much wider National Trust estate, but we make up 357 hectares of that, so about 880 acres. And we are essentially a coastal strip, but we span the A39. So all of this land here belongs to the farm, as does all of this land here. The Watersmeet estate, although owned by the National Trust, isn't considered part of Kipscombe Farm at the moment. We are essentially 7 enclosed blocks of semi-improved pasture, and those blocks are all surrounded by heathland. We do have a couple of wooded combes that span across the property, but the main areas of woodland are along the coastal strips, and obviously our neighbour, which is the Watersmeet woodland, is heavily wooded. But at the moment, as you'll see as we walk around, there aren't actually that many trees on the farm. And in most places, they are kind of monocultures of habitats. So we either have grass or we have heathland, and that's pretty much it. So in terms of wildlife value, although Exmoor is amazing, and I don't want to downplay how incredible it is, because it really is, but it could be so much better. It really could be. So just to give you a bit of background and history to the farm, so in 2017, Kipscombe Farm came back into National Trust, well, we call it in hand. So essentially, before that, the farm was tenanted. So, what is our vision for the farm? Well, as I said, first and foremost, we are a conservation charity, and so we want to make this farm, this area of land, the absolute best it can be for wildlife, nature, and for people. And when we sat down and we looked at things, we did loads of different kind of soil testing, and there was a huge decision-making process that went into this. We decided that the best thing we could do is plant trees and use grazing as a sustainable way to deliver our conservation goals. Now, this farm does have to be economically sustainable. Again, I don't know how much people know about National Trust finances, but we are classed on West Exmoor as a deficit property, which means we don't make money. We do get a small amount of central funding every year to help with our conservation, but essentially everything we do over and above the basics, we have to go out and find funding for. So that's either external funding, as lots of you might be applying for, or there is some amount of internal funding as well to be had. At the moment, this farm does have an HLS and an ELS, but obviously, again, we need to find ways to make this farm viable, because in the future, who knows what's going to happen with that. We also want to use this farm as a way of demonstrating that wildlife and farming can go hand in hand. They absolutely can. Farming gets a lot of bad press at the moment, and actually, a lot of the time that's because a particular model of farming is taken and touted. And I think that, there are other ways of doing it, and there are ways that are better for people and for wildlife and for the animals that live here. And so, that's something we're really keen on promoting with this project. So as I said, what we're looking to do is essentially holistic rotational grazing within a wood pasture system.